Hello everyone, welcome to Somehow I Design. This is Yunus Emre Alcıoğlu and today I'm going to be talking about my preference settings in Autodesk Alias. So let's get started. As you can see on the screen, I have pretty much the basic prefset for the first screen. I use two screens. I really recommend you to use double screens too, because there are so many different tabs popping up all the time while doing the 3D modeling. So you might need to get a second screen. It's a kind of good idea. First screen, it is pretty much the basics. I use the dark gray color the most. Sometimes I go for the light color if my materials on the model is kind of quite dark. But I rather to use dark gray color to kind of maybe for the sake of the eye health, let's say. On the left hand side I have the standard palette, which is probably you have the same as it is, it's there. On the right hand side I have the different shelves that I changed. I mean, the first thing was this area that I changed my about my preference settings, and the overall preference settings that I use kind of shaped in time. I've kind of find myself using the same tools too much, and I was like, in order to speed up my modeling process, I kind of begin to use some hotkeys, or I kind of placed some certain tools in a certain areas. On the right hand side on the top, which you can see right now, I have a different shelf about the curves, let's say the distances, angles, pretty much the measuring stuffs. It's like curve to curve, curve to surface, deviation controls, and the continuity check tools. Pretty much it's like that. Underneath it I have data export optimization tab, which I created according to the transferring 3D data for the rendering processes only. So at this tab I use only if my data is ready to export for I mean maybe to VRED or Blender regarding the animations or still frame rendering studies. Other than that, I have control panel as a standard, most of yours. I didn't touch that much at that part. Below I have subdivisional tools palette over there. These are the tools that I use the most while doing SubD modeling. Some of them are under the peak tab, some of them under the SubD tab directly. But yeah, I kind of just not to search for it on the palette. Here I kind of bring them to another shelf I use if I do subdivisional modeling. I mean, the first thing I was aiming is to not look for the tools on the palette. This is one of the most important thing as far as I'm concerned, because if you are searching for the tool on the palette on the left hand side, you kind of lose too much time. And there are of course marking menus for that. It's not standard one that I use at the moment. I have customized according to what I use the most here as well. Shift, control, and middle mouse, and the right mouse, it's like pretty much that I use the most. For instance, let's do some demonstration. Let's say I have these surfaces and I should kind of rather than toggling on the mirror under the object lister, I can directly go dub Y tool here. I have duplicated that on the other axis. But the thing is to be considered is duplicating on the Y axis kind of reverse your orientation. So it was blue, it's like facing towards to us, and we are right now seeing the back side of the exact surfaces of the right hand side. So you gotta double check these ones, or there is another tool for that, which is mirror tool. Rather than duplicating Y axis, you can directly come there and use mirror tool in this case your surface orientation is not changed, so this is something to be considered. Let me toggle on the mirror. Yeah, this is pretty much the interface that I use for this first screen. Let me jump to the second screen. Yeah, for the second screen I kind of placed the tabs over there. The most I used, one of them is the cross-section editor. This is used for the reverse engineering mostly, if you you are comparing between the surfaces, the deviations, and you are trying to match the deviations together. I mean, we can of course need to do another video about the usage of this cross editor, or you can search for the existing videos too. This is pretty much for reverse engineering. And the other one is a diagnostic shader. I actually have hotkeys, the shortcuts for the diagnostic shader, but for the global settings, actually you can change the tolerances over there if kind of your computer begins to slow down, if components are kind of high quality in your model, your computer tends to slow down, so you can kind of decrease the tolerance over here by like going 0.1 and selecting the fast tessellator so that your computer does not slow down. And the other one is the object lister. I guess this is the most used tab in between the Alias users. This is pretty much our kind of layers there, the kind of parts and organizations of the surfaces. We use the object lister the most. And the other one is the stage editor. Stage editor kind of gives you the flexibility to between the different datas. For instance, I have one Tesla model is opened here and the Jaguar Type 0 model is there, so I can toggle between to kind of keep working for all of them. It can be totally different projects, or it can be different components regarding one project. You can open at the same time different stages, so you can jump between the components and the projects. It is kind of mostly used in the industry because it's not always you have one project. It's kind of, you might have more than one project, so you might keep working all of them at the same time. So yeah, this is very useful. And the lower side we have variant lister. Variant lister, I mean, how I use the most is for the design reviews or with the clients or with the managers. You can kind of decide some stunning perspective angles, and if you think like it is kind of effective to show that in that angle, you can add the new variant here and you can toggle between the views. Right now I'm selecting the variants between, and my camera on the second screen kind of rotates accordingly. This can be like you have one complete model of, in our case what I have on my other screen is Tesla, and you have, let's say, 3 different front bumper design, and you can open all of them together and it shows you this as the stages, different stages, but all of the data is the same, but the front bumper is getting different. And you can decide the certain angle, and you can toggle between the designs with using the same camera view, so that you can kind of analyze the design and talk on it in a better way. Yeah, the other ones is about the shaders and the environment, actually. Shader library, shader lister, shader editor, and the environment editor that I use the most, because before going to the rendering softwares, you kind of sharpen up your 3D model directly into the Alias, so it'll be more effective, more kind of creating wow effect to those who are looking to your designs, or these could be the design managers, one of your colleagues, one of your clients. Yeah, depends on the cases, of course. So we have huge work about the shaders. So yeah, this kind of speeds up your process, and yeah, gives you the shortcuts, of course. I mean, if you go like select the material and go like pick objects, so you will be selecting the materials that are assigned with the same surfaces all at once. So it kind of speeds up your process, kind of avoiding you to select area surfaces one by one. You can just select the shaders at once, and it kind of speeds up your process. So let's jump to the other screen. I am gonna explain about the usage of the hotkeys. It's like how much it kind of speeds up your process. Yeah, we'll see that one too. Yeah, we're back again. Let's switch to the other project, which is the SUV that I was doing before. I used Stage Editor to make this jump, so we see the used case at the same time. That's nice. So yeah, the hotkeys are pretty much the arrangements that you do on your keyboard to reach some certain tools that you use the most. In this case, I'm just going to be using F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 keys to jump between the orthographic views. F1 is for my prefset is front, F2 is top, F3 is left, F4 is right, F5 is rear, F6 is the bottom. So I usually jump between the orthographic views to kind of focus on the details of the lines, rather than going on top of the screen, right corner, rather than clicking these areas here. I jump between the keyboard, so kind of it gives you the some certain level of profession, rather than using the tools on the screen. If you use hotkeys, not only it makes you speed up, but also it makes you look like a bit more professional, let's say. Yeah, for instance, let's take this surface. I use Control H to do hide unselected. I'm gonna close the toggle of the symmetry layer. Let's bring them back by using another hotkey. Yeah, if I don't use the hotkey, can you imagine like hovering up of the screen? It's like finding the hide unselect here, which is Control H, as you can see, rather than clicking this one. If you do like select and use your keyboard, use your hotkeys, it looks more professional and you kind of speed up. So what I'm going to do is, let's do the long way. Let's select the surface. Come here, display, hide unselected. And I'm going to be untrimming this surface and trimming some curves, projecting some curves on it, and trimming afterwards. Let's find the untrim tool here. You see we are already spending time. Yeah, I have untrimmed this one time and yeah, a couple of times. I'm going to duplicate these curves. That one, that one, that one, that one. Yeah, I moved them on the Z-axis. Let's delete. Yeah, let's keep. Yeah, I selected my surface and untrim it, and you see we untrimmed it. I am gonna delete the surface, the curve on surface. So I'm gonna need to project these curves onto that surface in order to trim the parts that I don't want. In order to do so, let's come here, project tool, select the surface, select the X, hit go, and select the curves and hit project. So it is projected. Now let's trim that one. Come here, trim tool, select it, and let's extend this one. Select the surface, select the area that we want to keep, hit keep. Rather than that, oh yeah, it's kind of untrims even more. Rather than that, what if we use something like Shift Z, project, select the surfaces or the surface, curves, projected, Shift X is the trim, keep. I mean, you see how fast it is. It's like without explaining, it's just a second. Rather than searching for the tools over there, it took just a second. And if you add up the operations like these, it kinda end of the day, it kinda save you the most. I mean, saves you the time. I mean, you cannot underestimate that time, because timing is really important in automotive industry. So as long as you get faster, not only you look much more professional, but also you will save your time as well, because if you deliver earlier than you should, you kinda keep the time between to yourself to develop your other skill sets, maybe learn some renderings and some animation skills. I don't know the case, it depends on you. But yeah, you kinda begin to create time for yourself. So this is why the using shortcuts is high priority. I strongly suggest you to develop this type of shortcuts for yourself. Yeah, it's like how I created it was like, after I realized the tools that I use the most, I one by one created hotkeys. And for the hotkeys, you can how you can create is yeah, under the preferences menu, you go there, hotkeys, menu editor. So there is a hotkey editor tab pops up, and the palette is the thing you are looking for. You go there. I mean, let's say you are going to be creating a shortcut for the extend tool. You go, it is under the object edit menu under the palette. So we go there, object edit menu, we have the tools over here, and I used Shift E for the extend. Once you type that in and close it up, whenever you hit Shift E on your keyboard, it activates the extend tool according to the options that you pick here. If you change that one, you can kind of create accordingly. In this case, the setup is like that in my screen. Whenever I need to extend some curves or some surfaces, I only hit Shift E, because this could be closed. Yeah, I might be spending my time looking for the object edit here. I mean, you know, under the pressure, maybe your boss is watching you. It's like right on your neck. You can kind of begin to shake up a little bit, failing to find the object edit, or you might not even remember where the extend tool is. Yeah, instead finding the object edit and the extend tool, you knew it is Shift E in your keyboard, you directly use it. So as long as you get used to use hotkeys, you will get much more professional, much more fast. You can save up the time. You can manage your time better. If someone asks you how long it's gonna take to do a certain job, you can be much more confident. So it is that important to get used to the hotkeys. Yeah, these were all I can say for this video. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment your thoughts below, and yeah, see you on the next one. Bye bye.